Monster Energy Supercross roared into downtown Nashville and Nissan Stadium, all part of the SuperMotocross World Championship. And there was so much hype. First of all, one of the favorite cities that we visit. But we were going to make our own music inside the venue because we had a 250 East-West showdown and a tie atop the 450 class standings. Welcome to your SMX Insider post-race show for Nashville. We want to show you the 450 class highlights. That tie is between Chet Lawrence and Cooper Webb. So much more than that went down tonight. It wasn't just about them.
I mean, a lot of the story all season long, Weege. When you think about it, it's just expect the unexpected. And this is a start right here. Chet Lawrence getting a firing jump out of the gate. But look at Eli Tomac.
Eli Tomac with a whole shot, and then watch him on the first lap. The veteran was on fire.
Yeah, this guy was getting it done, but keep a look at number 94, Ken Roxon. Watch him make a pass into second. Watch, he is on the edge right here. The rear tire's gonna slip out. Whoa, he holds on to it.
So that's gonna put Roxon in third around Webb. Then he's gonna make the move on Lawrence.
And Kenny is so explosive early on in these races, especially like if you pass him, he'll pass you right back. And we talk about that fast muscle twitch.
We thought Webb might make a run at Lawrence, but instead it was another Lawrence in trouble. Jason Anderson assists Hunter Lawrence.
I don't know if that was intentional or not. We'll have to see some different replays on that and chew it up.
Now watch Chase Sexton, watch this.
This was extremely bizarre wreck. It's almost, you saw some of those guys doubling into that corner, and I don't know if I don't know. I don't know what happened, if that was a bike malfunction, but that was bizarre. We're gonna have to do some digging on that later on to see what exactly happened.
And even more bizarre, Roxon, we think his shock goes right here, and you do not want to go through whoops with a malfunction shock.
No, you do not. You hate to see that for Kenny. So a couple of issues there. He was already committed to blitzing the whoops. If it was the shock, like we're seeing, you see the shock moving just a little bit there. So there's just a spring essentially because all the oil and everything is gone. I hate that for this guy, and he just couldn't stop. He had too much momentum going forward.
And he was out of the race, and then Lawrence starts to put on the charge, catches Tomac.
Well, look at the heads up riding. He probably saw that Eli was committed to the outside, saw the two guys on laying in Eli's line, was able to get by.
And from there, he pull away. He answered all the questions. Pressure, can he pass the guys? If he doesn't get the whole shot, can he win? No problem. And completely resetting the storyline after 3 tough races.
Yeah. Phenomenal ride by this guy. Just another example of what his true potential is when he puts all the pieces together.
And that'll relegate Tomac to second, and Webb said he didn't have it this time. Finishes up in third. That's a 5-point differential between those two tonight. Anderson, Barsha, top 5. Good run for Barsha. It's been a while since he's been up there. Cooper, Hunter Lawrence recovers behind him. And there you see Roxon and Sexton 21st and 22nd. This would essentially eliminate Sexton from defending his championship. He was down only 15 coming in, but a big gap now. He's 40 points behind with only 3 races to go.
Yeah.
Lawrence 5 ahead of Webb.
Yeah. I think it's going to be game over for anybody outside of Eli Tomac for the championship. I mean, you're going to need some serious luck, and we're gonna see what happens. It has been a wild ride, but I just feel like the further we get down the stretch, now we only have 3 races left with Philly, Denver, and Salt Lake. It's just these guys are so good, they rarely make mistakes. I think last year was like just a year that you won't see.
You're not expecting that.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. So incredible night of racing. A lot of things I didn't think would happen, but that's been a lot of the tale this year.
And also one factor I just thought about, we don't know necessarily the status of Roxon and Sexton going forward. We'll try to get that, but part of the story has been this year, you make one mistake, there's so many riders that get in between you, the field might be thinning out here, and that might not be as much of a factor.
Well, that might not be as a factor, and that's just going to make it that much harder for a guy like Cooper Webb or Chet Lawrence to make up additional points with good guys out.
All right, we'll have to see how that plays out. That's heartbreaking to see that for Sexton and for Roxon. As for Lawrence, well, you were talking about the potential that he shows, the talent he shows. And what was happening is the veterans were kind of figuring out the hotlines on the track, and he adapted. For more on that, let's send it to Jason Thomas.
So if you're looking for a section of the racetrack that was easily the most pivotal here in Nashville, it has to be the section I'm standing in. Now you think about this was a section Chase Sexton crashed out of in the early laps. It's right before where Ken Roczen had his mechanical failure that sent him hurling over the handlebars. And it's also the section where Eli Tomac started innovating, jumping that triple early on, and then Jet Lawrence one-upped him by doing it from the inside. Now this is what the riders faced. Look at these takeoffs, look at these ruts. These are what they were dealing with. So you think about trying to find a new line, trying to triple 60 feet through the air, and also dealing with these takeoffs and these curved ruts that I'm looking at behind me. So it just gives you a little snapshot and insight of what these guys are dealing with in the middle of the main event, because it looks so easy from television. I promise you, it's anything but.
Well, thanks, JT, and maybe we can best illustrate that by showing what happens when it goes wrong. Chase Sexton here again. Not sure what happened there.
It's like, did his brakes not work? Did his rear brake not work? I don't know. Who knows?
So Sexton down and out, and then we'll show you the Roczen situation. This is that triple that JT was talking about. It's coming around the corner.
Goes to the outside, and then when he lands here, about 2 feet after he lands, boom, shock brakes. That's the oil hitting the exhaust. Oh, just free springing.
Yeah, big hits for both. Let's send it to Will Christian. We'll try to get an update. Will, what have you heard on those two?
Yeah, thank you, Jason. I've just been over to the paddock there, went over to Suzuki and Red Bull KTM to check in on both of those riders there. First up, Chase Sexton, described to me as very banged up by the team. They said they have had him checked out, no brakes that they can see, so they don't see any perhaps long-term injuries in that sense, but they just said he is definitely going to be very sore from this one. And then over there at Suzuki for Ken Roczen, again, he's been evaluated. He did get x-rayed by Alpine Stars, and they said they don't see any signs of fractures, but he is going for further evaluation, although he is still on site right now.
All right, thank you, Will. Well, okay, that might be the best case scenario for those two if it turns out nothing broken. Certainly they're going to be sore tomorrow morning. And this atmosphere, we almost feel like we have playoffs right now because the points are so close in these final rounds. We're going to have this again, this kind of intensity, with the SuperMotocross playoffs coming up later in the year. That starts September 7th, and then September 14th, September 21st in North Carolina, Texas, and Nevada. Tickets on sale now. Go to supermotocross.com. Those races delivered huge.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, we expect the same to happen in 2024. I mean, just use the way Supercross has turned out as a preview. You never know. And you think the 450 class had some heartbreak. Wait till you see the 250 class highlights here from Nashville. So the points leaders coming in the West is Levi Kitchen, the 47, the 63, Cameron McAdoo in the East. Yes, they are teammates on Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. I want to stress that because here is the start. RJ Hampshire to the early lead, but watch the two green bikes.
Yeah, you thought the 250, 450 was wild. Watch McAdoo. He collides with his teammate, Levi Kitchen, and the next thing you know, McAdoo is down. Talking about adding insult to injury, really nothing there that any of those riders could have done, and just unfortunate circumstance, racing incident. Anstey rolls over Levi Kitchen. I couldn't believe Levi got up, remounted. I mean, I can because I know how strong and tough these guys are, but still, he had no choice really with this guy.
It was adding injury to injury because McAdoo was already hurt from practice. He did not finish this race. RJ Hampshire took off.
Well, let me tell you right now, this guy was on another level. He was fast in qualifying practice earlier today, and he just had it going.
There's McAdoo pulling off. And by the way, when he crashed, Nate Thrasher fell right on the shoulder that McAdoo had hurt earlier in the day. You know no one is tougher than McAdoo. If he pulled off, that must have been very, very painful.
You talk about heartbreaks. That was a heartbreak for McAdoo.
So, Hampshire takes the win and the points lead in the 250 West region. He was down 15 points coming in. But also, let's mention Tom Vial, third in the race, and he'll take over the Eastern point lead.
I like his position. He's got a 13-point lead now with 2 rounds to go. I like it.
This guy likes it. See Joe Shimoda second, but Hampshire did what he had to do. He won.
That's right.
And you see how happy he is. He couldn't control what happened to Kitchen. The points just worked themselves out. Shout out to Kitchen, though, because we did not even think he would get up. As you said, he had to.
Yeah.
He did, and he scratched and clawed his way forward. We will show you that from the results in a moment. Vial on the podium, as mentioned. Smith outduels Swole down the stretch. Good racer, 4th and 5th. Deegan had a bad start and ended up 6th.
he didn't help his championship hopes there.
No.
That's for sure. Great job by Beaumer to come back from the last chance qualifier as well.
And there you see Kitchen. He perseveres. He was in 22nd at one point. He gets back to 14th. And this is how it affects the West standings. 2 points now between Hampshire and Kitchen. But at one point he was 9.
Yeah.
So Kitchen was able to get some points back late in the race. Jordan Smith's not out of it.
2 more races for this West Division. Denver, and then of course the showdown again in Salt Lake City. So it's basically winner take all for these 2 guys.
And we'll show you the East points now. Deegan was down 13 to McAdoo coming in. He's now down 13 to Vial. So Vial in a great position with 2 to go.
Yeah, I like Vial's position. He's a MXGP champion, MX2 division. He knows how to win championships. I don't feel like he's riding out of his zone. If he can make it through next weekend in Philadelphia and just go into the Salt Lake City round with a little bit of insurance, not to be in a must situation to where you have to win, I like him for the championship.
But Salt Lake City is another East-West showdown.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talent that can get in the way there. You want to get in on this. Every year we hold this auction raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We've got Justin Barsh's helmet and goggles. Kawasaki putting together a special electrode balance bike with the Adam C. and Cirillo graphics. We have Stasics with St. Jude graphics on them. And we have guitars.
Yes.
This is cool. That one in the middle. You saw
I like
the green
that
one.
green one myself. The king of Supercross and Ryan Villapoto all on there, going for big money for a great cause, and humbled to be a part of that. All of us are.
And then on top of those items, so many riders and teams participated tonight with special gear, graphics, and plastics on the motorcycle. We're going to collect all that, take photos, and then by Monday we should have the auction going, and then all the proceeds raised go to St. Jude. Let's mention the manufacturer points. Yamaha, when you take their best 250 and 450 rider each night, has opened up a big lead over Honda and everyone else in the combined standings. And Kawasaki was second earlier in the year, but rough night for them with the Pro Circuit boys in the 250s. So Yamaha really taking control of the manufacturer standings. Next week is going to be a big one. We're going to have a day race in Philadelphia, live on NBC, a great showcase for the sport. But for Cooper Webb, he's bounced back so many times.
Yeah, he has.
He's got to do it again.
Yeah, and you just have to think for the rookie Jet Lawrence, is he going to have more rookie problems? Not sure, but with only 3 rounds left, I feel like he's going to be pretty buttoned up. But also, I don't know what to expect going to Philly, and the reason that I don't know is because I don't know what that dirt is going to be like. How's it going to shape up? Is it going to be something like what we saw here tonight, which isn't very forgiving? You can't be aggressive. You just kind of have to take what it gives you. Or is it going to be tacky and the guys can just absolutely get on it? Is Mother Nature going to play with us? Is she going to play right? We're just going to have to see.
Yeah, it's springtime, and that is an open stadium.
That's right.
Going to be cool, though. We've never raced in that building in Philadelphia. Here's what we do know. The Yamaha track map. Here's the layout.
Oh, you put me on the spot,
Okay.
Weege. And here you go. It's the first time I've seen it.
All right. See how you do.
Ooh, a really tight 180 first corner. That is going to be interesting. Looks like a pretty traditional racetrack here early. Some short lanes right there at the beginning, so it's going to get bottled up right here. But then looks like they got a long rhythm section right down here. Ooh, a little angled right there. Then a 90-degree corner. That's going to be tricky. Hopefully it won't be too one line, but I love this. A triple into a 180 corner. Might see some passing there. Now, ooh, look at this little roller section around the corner. That's going to be very tough. Back and forth here. These whoops will be a little bit longer, or shorter, pardon me. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. We're only doing 9 whoops for safety protocol this year, which I like it. It's worked out well. 180 back across to start straight, and that's a lap at Philadelphia.
They call it the Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia, the home of the Liberty Bell, and so much other history there. So that should be really fun to visit the city of brotherly love, which I believe has only hosted 1 race ever in this championship, and that was 40-some years ago at the old stadium that's long gone, the Vet. Again, it's a day race, so tune in early. Of course, the coverage, as always, on Peacock or the SMX Video Pass outside the United States. But we also will be live on NBC, so tell your friends if they're new to Supercross, this will be their chance to check it out. Love to have that showcase for the sport, and the superstars will be doing their thing, showing just what this sport is all about. As for tonight, big thank you for the riders and teams for participating in the Love Moto Stock Cancer Race. RJ Hampshire came, saw, delivered in the East-West Showdown. Heartbreak for the Kawasaki teammates. And Chet Lawrence avoided the trouble this time that cost so many others and is back on top in the 450 division.